Okay, let's unpack this. We're going into vocal jazz style where the human voice, it doesn't just sing lyrics.
Right.
It becomes this powerful improvising instrument, just like a trumpet or a saxophone. What makes this style so different?
Well, it all started in the early 20th century, right here in the United States. It's a really unique blend.
A blend of what exactly?
It's mixing these deep African musical traditions with, European harmonic structures.
Okay.
And the sound grew primarily out of two genres that were really popular at the time, the blues and ragtime.
Right. So the blues gives it that emotion and ragtime gives it that rhythm.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting. Early singers literally used their voices to mimic the sounds of instruments.
So not like an opera singer, but like a trombone.
Precisely, like a trombone or a trumpet. And this approach, it allowed for a much, much greater range of emotional expression than traditional singing.
And the rhythm was often syncopated,
Mm.
which means the emphasis is placed on the offbeats of the music, right? It gives it that unique feel.
That's the feel. That's what gives it that swing. And that rhythmic complexity brings us to, I think, the most famous part of vocal jazz.
Which has to be scat singing.
Scat singing.
So, explained simply, it's when a performer uses, what, nonsense syllables, things like doobie, dubba, that kind of thing.
Scoop, shuba.
Ah.
But it's not just making random noise.
I was going to ask, is there a system to it?
Oh, absolutely. Scatting is improvisation. The singer is spontaneously creating a melody and a rhythm right then and there.
Just like an instrumentalist would.
Just like an instrumentalist would in a solo. And Louis Armstrong is the one who really gets credited with popularizing this style.
Back in 1926.
Yeah, the story goes that while he was recording Heebie-Jeebies, he dropped his sheet music.
Oh, wow.
And instead of stopping, he just improvised with a stream of these nonsense syllables to fill the gap.
And that basically launched the whole thing.
It did. And it requires intense skill to maintain the correct pitch while you're making up rhythms instantly.
Yeah.
It's like the singer is having a musical conversation with the rest of the band.
Okay, beyond scatting, let's talk about phrasing. This seems crucial. It's how the singer shapes a musical line and where they choose to breathe.
Phrasing is everything. It's the singer's fingerprint.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike classical music, jazz singers, they often play with the time.
What do you mean by play with the time?
They might pull the melody slightly behind the beat, or they might push it ahead.
Ah, so that creates that relaxed, swinging feel that's so essential to the style.
You've got it. They often use a technique called back to the beat to keep the energy moving forward. And we should probably mention that most jazz uses a swing eighth note.
Which feels more like a triplet rhythm than a straight beat.
Exactly. It's not 1 and 2 and, it's more like triplet, triplet. It allows for this amazing rhythmic flexibility.
And that brings us right to the heart of jazz, which is improvisation.
The core of it all.
So singers are composing music spontaneously while they perform changing notes, adding little decorative flourishes to a standard tune.
Which raises an important question. How do they do that? How do they not just create chaos?
Right. It's not just random. It requires a really deep understanding of the song structure and, most importantly, the underlying chords.
The chords are the roadmap.
Exactly. The singer has to listen so closely to the band to stay in the same key. The goal is creativity, which means no two jazz performances are ever exactly the same.
Never.
So let's get into the specifics of the voice. Vocal jazz singers often use a breathy tone. Why is that?
That breathy tone, it's all about creating an intimate, warm atmosphere. It sort of pulls you in.
And they use vibrato really sparingly, right? They'll often save it just for the very end of a long note.
They do, and that's often to mimic the long, straight tones of a horn. It lets the note itself stand out really cleanly.
And to do that, to mimic those long instrumental lines, they must have excellent breath control.
Oh, absolutely. And they use their chest voice for lower notes.
Which gives it that rich, full sound.
A rich conversational sound. And of course, good diction is also key, so you can still understand the lyrics, even when the melody is being twisted around.
So, okay, what does this all mean for the band? In a typical setting, the vocalist is the leader, but they're supported by the rhythm section.
The rhythm section is the foundation. It's usually a piano providing the harmony.
Chords.
The chords, an upright bass keeping a steady walking rhythm,
That continuous pulse.
and a drum kit which maintains the tempo and adds all these great accents. Sometimes a horn section is added for a bigger sound.
And the communication must be instant. It's all eye contact and small gestures.
It's a totally collaborative environment.
Okay, let's look at the history. The swing era, the 1930s to the 40s.
This was the era of the big bands, huge groups designed for dancing, with this strong, infectious rhythmic drive.
And vocalists needed really powerful voices to cut through all that loud brass, though I guess microphones helped them add some nuance.
Microphones were a game changer. And a lot of songs from this time became part of what we call the Great American Songbook.
But then what's so fascinating is that it changed in the 1950s with cool jazz.
A complete shift. It was a more relaxed, understated style.
Almost no vibrato, with a really light and airy vocal tone.
It was all about atmosphere. And around the same time, bossa nova emerged.
Which blended that cool jazz feel with Brazilian samba rhythms.
Yeah, it has that gentle guitar, a distinctive swaying beat, and these really poetic lyrics, sometimes sung in both English and Portuguese.
So let's talk about the songs themselves, these jazz standards. They're popular songs, often from Broadway or Hollywood, that sort of form a common language for musicians.
They're essential. Knowing them is how you learn complex harmony, melody, and sophisticated lyrics. A professional vocalist has to know a huge number of them.
And we have to talk about the legends who mastered them.
Absolutely.
Let's start with Ella Fitzgerald.
Known for her incredible range and just masterful, precise scat singing, it was so clean it sounded like it was written down.
And then you have Billie Holiday.
So different. Famous for her unique phrasing and the deep emotional weight she gave every single lyric. She would pull way behind the beat.
She made you hang on every word.
She really did. She showed that emotional honesty could be more powerful than just vocal tricks.
And you can't forget Frank Sinatra.
Sinatra blended jazz with a popular crooning style, becoming this massive global icon.
And finally, Sarah Vaughan.
Sassy. Celebrated for her rich, almost operatic voice and her really daring harmonic improvisations. She pushed the boundaries of what the voice could do.
So where's vocal jazz today? It's still evolving, right?
Oh, for sure. Modern singers mix in pop, soul, even electronic music. Some use looping pedals to create layers of their own voice.
And you can even hear the influence of hip-hop rhythms sometimes in the phrasing.
You can. And many contemporary artists write their own original material now, which keeps the whole genre moving forward.
So if you want to explore this, a good start is just listening to those masters we mentioned. Practice pitch matching and, study music theory to understand the chords.
If we connect this all together, vocal jazz is so much more than just singing. It's a discipline built on spontaneity and connection.
It really turns the human voice into this powerful, expressive force.
A force that genuinely changed music history. When you listen to a jazz singer, you're hearing an artist compose in real time, right in front of you.
It makes you wonder, if the voice is the ultimate original instrument, what new sounds are we going to invent next? Good luck with your studies.